proposition. I will give you the earth if you will worship me.
Congrats in advance. I know this isn't out yet, but it's awesome. All of these are great.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
You've done it again.
But we hope everyone agrees with you.
I have some for both of you, but I think I'll just bounce back and forth for a sec if that's cool. Starting with Tim, I know I want to ask about Golgotha. You know, we're going into live action, and you directed it. What made you want to take that artistic step with this installment?
Well, people forget, but we did do a live action one in season 1, the Ice Age, the one with the civilization and the freezer. And it's really just to remind people that we can do whatever the fuck we want. So, you know, I love animation, but I like live action too. But I really feel like at the end of the day, it's kind of like the story speaks to you, not in some mystical bullshit way, but in a very real, suggested, I think this story would be best told using this technique. And Golgotha just seemed like the proper way to mix the absurdity of Dolphin Jesus with our real world was to do it in the real world in live action. And we could also just rock on up to Malibu and shoot it on the beach up there, which is exactly what we did.
Yeah. This is a total tangent. I once wrote a screenplay that I imagined Rhys Darby playing a priest in. So thank you for bringing that to life. I can see that. Was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy any inspiration on that one? Because that felt very much of that world to me.
Definitely. And if you go back and watch the first 3 robots, there's a line, so long and thanks for all the fish, as he's leaving, which is my little insider callback to. I liked all the Douglas Adams stuff, the Dirk Gently books, and all the Hitchhiker guides. They're great.
That makes me happy to hear. I'm such a fan of those. Jennifer, I want to ask about Spider Rose, which is set in the same universe as Swarm from Volume 3. What made you want to return to that world, and what did you want to bring that was different from Swarm?
I think for Sterling's world, for the Mechanists and the Shapers, there's so much world there. There's so much story. There's just no way we could fit it into a short. Swarm was a wonderful glimpse into that world, this little tiny sliver. And Spider Rose is just a view of the other side of the little sliver, where Swarm was about the Shapers and Spider Rose is about the Mechanist side. But to me, what I really loved about this story was just the emotional exploration of Rose and what all that grief does to a person and the connection that she forges with this pet. So emotion is a big thing for me. It's how I interface with the story. It's how I know what to do with any part of a film of any kind. So when I clocked into that, I was thinking, okay, I know what the shots are. I know what this needs to be. And it's such a beautiful world that, you know, it's a pity to not show more of it.
I was going to say this for later, but kind of to both of you, based on what you said, Jennifer, about the world being so big, I'm sure you've been asked this, but like, is there ever a temptation to try to develop a feature based on any of these worlds?
And there is a book, Schismatrix, which these are 2 shorts set in the world of that book. And that book is great. It's in my top 10 of all time. I'd love to do it, but you know, we would like to do it, and because there's so many different kinds of stories, and some can't be told in shorts, and some work better as shorts. But you know, the example I've been using lately, because it's on my mind, is, you know, I pitched a story that was a television series that was the quick pitch is the elevator pitch is lesbian necromancers in space. And when I pitched that as a television series with live action actors and stuff, what I get is, stop right there. We just don't feel that the audience is going to be there for lesbian necromancers in space. But when I say to Netflix, I'm going to do a short that's lesbian necromancers in space, they go, okay, what are they going to be doing? You know, and it's just, that's the kind of freedom you get with a short. Whereas the minute you say feature or series, suddenly it has to be a broader audience. It has to appeal to more people. And that, there's nothing wrong with that. It makes sense, but it does put a limit on the kinds of stories that you can tell. But there are a few, like Sonny's Edge lives in the world of Peter Hamilton, his Neutronium Alchemist, and the whole book series is great. It's great. So yeah, it's possible.
So it made me wonder how many Emmys you need to throw at someone to get a movie made, but that makes a lot of sense.
Man, it's hard. It's hard. But these are meant to be little tasters of so that you could say, hey, let's do a 3 robot series, which we have said, and we're still waiting for the yes on that. But we've been waiting a long time. So
fair enough. Speaking of space, I want to ask about dinosaurs in space. Sure. That episode. I guess the most surprising thing about that to me was not even the fact that we're gladiating dinosaurs. That's a word now. It's Mr. Beast being involved. How did he get involved in this series?
He is a huge fan of the show, which I know because he told me. And I went out and visited his place in North Carolina, which is super cool, out in the middle of nowhere. But he's got posters of Love, Death, and Robots. He's a huge fan, huge nerd. And so I knew that he wanted to be in a part of a story if we could find the right one. And so what better than an evil game master who takes such delight in putting these poor helpless people through all these trials. It felt just like, a Beast Games episode. Because I don't know about you, but I watched that show and so many times I went, oh my God, that's so mean. So I thought he would be perfect for that. But I also think on a show level, he's got this huge audience and this really devoted fan base. And if he can bring some of them to the show and we can widen the tent and indoctrinate some of a younger audience into the dark arts of animation, win for everybody.
Were you, because I've seen comments going both ways on the internet, were you bracing for that in any way, or do you not care?
Oh, I'm an old hat when it comes to people hating stuff, and you can't be afraid to step in the arena. And I feel like I'm sure I'm wrong about this, but my motivations are always, I feel, the right thing. I want what's best for the show. I want what's best for the characters, and I want what's best for the stories. I'm not trying to take a side or make a statement or anything like that. I just want people to watch the things that we do and enjoy them. And so I don't really, people are going to hate it, or people are going to question your decisions, or even worse, they're going to transpose their negative ideas onto something that you're doing that's not. Like for instance, in a different example, people say all the time, where do you get the themes from for the show, the thematic things that run through threads through the show? And I'm like, man, there is no themes. It's just a bunch of stories we pick. And later after the fact, you put these your mental structures on them, but they're not there to begin with. I wish I was that smart. I'm not.
That's a good answer. And I think, Jennifer, this will be my last one, but I saw in the notes that I think Spider-Rose was first talked about, also I know that you're involved on such a larger scale, but this is such a great story. I know it was first talked about 15 years ago. Was there a reason that it had taken until volume 4 to be brought to people?
I think, honestly, we just want to do things right. And some of these stories, they're friends of Tim's. We don't want to do bad versions of things. And sometimes it's just a matchmaking thing. Is it the right time with this right director, with the right studio? Is it the right mix in the season that we need an episode like this? Certainly something like that has to be done carefully. So we don't just willy-nilly throw stories around. We just want to do the quality version and wait for the right time.
That is great. All right. I think that is my time, but great to meet both of you. And again, congrats on this. These are really...
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.